He was called a murderer, a savage, and an enemy of Rome. But to others, he was a hero, a man who dared to challenge an empire built on slavery and fear. This is the incredible true story of Spartacus, the gladiator who became a timeless symbol of freedom. But was he really the noble rebel we remember? Or was he Rome's most dangerous terrorist? Let's uncover the truth. Around 73 BC, Rome was the undisputed superpower of the ancient world. Its empire stretched across continents, and its entire economy, its very way of life, ran on the backs of slaves. Millions were captured in wars, chained and sold like cattle in bustling markets. Among them was a Thracian man, strong, intelligent, and with a spirit that refused to be broken. His name was Spartacus. Forced into a gladiator school in Capua, his fate was sealed, to fight and die for the entertainment of the Roman elite. But Spartacus refused to be anyone's spectacle. In a stunning act of defiance, he and about 70 other gladiators broke out of their prison, armed with nothing more than kitchen knives and their own fury. They escaped to the slopes of the nearby Mount Vesuvius, and it was there, on that volcano, that Rome's worst nightmare truly began. What started as a desperate escape by a few dozen men quickly ignited into a full-blown rebellion. News of their freedom spread like wildfire. Thousands flocked to join Spartacus, shepherds, peasants, and fellow escaped slaves, all yearning for a life they had only dreamed of. Spartacus proved to be more than just a fighter. He was a brilliant leader. He organized this ragtag group into a disciplined army, training them to fight like Roman soldiers and turning their own tactics against them. The results were astonishing. He utterly crushed the first Roman forces sent to deal with him. Then the next and the next. In total, he defeated multiple Roman legions in succession, a feat previously thought impossible. To the enslaved people across Italy, Spartacus was a liberator, a savior delivering them from bondage. But to the Roman Senate, he was a public enemy, a terrorist who threatened the very foundation of their world. Just imagine the sheer panic in the halls of the Roman Senate. Their property, their slaves, were not only running away, but were now defeating their invincible armies. Roman historians of the time didn't hold back. They painted Spartacus as a bloodthirsty barbarian, a monster who brought chaos and destruction wherever he went. They claimed he had no mercy. But let's pause and ask ourselves, what would you do if your family, your friends, and your people had lived and died in chains for generations? Was Spartacus truly the villain, or was Rome just terrified to look in the mirror and face its own monstrous cruelty? At the peak of his success, Spartacus and his army had a clear path to escape. They could have marched north over the Alps and into freedom, leaving Rome behind forever. But he didn't. In a decision that has puzzled historians for centuries, he turned his army back south, towards the heart of the empire. Why? Perhaps it was out of a deep loyalty to the tens of thousands who couldn't escape. Perhaps it was a burning desire for revenge against the empire that had enslaved him. Whatever the reason, it was a fatal choice. Rome, now desperate, unleashed its wealthiest and most ruthless general, Marcus Licinius Crassus, along with a massive army of 10 legions. The final confrontation was inevitable. Spartacus fought with the same courage that had defined his rebellion, but his forces were ultimately divided and hopelessly outnumbered. In the final, brutal battle in 71 BC, he reportedly died as he had lived, fighting on the front lines, sword in hand, facing the very empire he dared to defy. His body was never identified among the fallen. All that remained was his legend. To the Romans, he was a cautionary tale, a terrorist who tried to burn their world down. To history, he became something far greater. He became a powerful symbol of resistance, a testament to the enduring human spirit fighting against overwhelming oppression. For centuries after his death, revolutionaries, slaves, and freedom fighters across the world would whisper his name, Spartacus, as a source of inspiration. He may not have won the war, but his fight fundamentally changed how the world saw freedom, power, and justice. So in the end, was he a rebel or a terrorist? Maybe the truth is that he was both. Or maybe he was simply human, pushed to extraordinary lengths by an inhuman system. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoy stories that challenge history, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more. Thanks for watching.